Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Arap Ruto humiliated President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga on the 9th day of August 2022. Personally, I don't think President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga will forget that day. Again, he humiliated them at the Supreme Court when none of the 9 issues they raised were upheld by the courts. Court actually agreed with everything William Ruto and IBC told them at the Supreme Court. And today, I can assure you, William Ruto is going to humiliate Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta again in Parliament. Parliament reconvened today. For the first time, they're going to have their first sitting. And after swearing in, the first step is going to be the election of the Speaker of both houses. Azimio at the Senate are fronting Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka for the position of the Speaker. By the time of doing this video, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka had already pulled out of the race. The initial plan for Kalonzo was that he was going to get the support of Azimio and then convince Kenya Kwanza to support him in exchange of Wiper's support in the National Assembly. And the fact that he's already pulled out probably means that his proposals were not accepted by Kenya Kwanza. At the National Assembly, Azimio team are fronting Kenneth Otiato Marende, the former Speaker of the National Assembly. If you look at numbers, at the National Assembly, Azimio has around 173 members of parliament, while Kenya Kwanza has around 160. Azimio on paper has a higher number. At the Senate, Kenya Kwanza has around 24, while Azimio has 22. So at the Senate, Kenya Kwanza is safe. That's on paper. But if you look at the numbers, real numbers on the ground, kwa ground, vitu ni tofauti. William Ruto has a commanding lead. Because already out of Azimio, he has the support of the UDM party. Several members of KANU already moved there. Majority of independent MPs are already with him. So in this video, I want us to look at why personally I strongly believe that William Ruto is going to have another moment to humiliate President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. But before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to the main issue, and please don't forget to press that thumbs up. That's the best way you can support the channel. I also want you guys to go and check out my Facebook page. I'm going to put the link. I've decided that I'll be doing some short short clips, 3-minute clip summaries on emerging issues, some which might not really need analysis. So just check Lee Makwiny Facebook page, not the profile. Go to the page and then we'll meet there. Now, Azimio originally wanted to front Kalonzo Musyoka for the Speaker of the National Assembly, but they opted for Kenneth Marende. Why? Because they believed that with Kalonzo Musyoka running for the position of the National Assembly, and with the numbers they had, it was going to be possible for Wetangula to persuade the Luhya Nation members of parliament to support him. So they requested him to step aside, which he agreed. Now with Marende, the expectations were that Wiper were going to whip their candidates. Kalonzo is good at that, to support Marende. And then Marende, being a lawyer, he will be able to retain the ODM members there, those who were not for Ruto, the DAP, on their side. So they had hoped that they can sustain that number and win the seat. But you know, William Ruto is also a different person. So for me, William Ruto is going to defeat these guys for several reasons. Number one, politics is a game of numbers. Let us not lie. On paper, Azimio has the highest numbers of members of parliament. I'm not going to Senate because already Kalonzo has withdrawn And Azimio senators also decided to walk out of parliament. So politics is a game of numbers. William Ruto already has the support of independent MPs, totaling to around 15. So that means already they are at par. He's ahead by 2 based on the numbers. He has the support of KANU, Kamket, and the other guy. He has the support of the Service Party. So definitely, if you look at that number from that perspective, I don't see how, for example, Azimio will be able to catch up with that, because William Ruto understands that he's already the president-elect. So most of numbers can only now favor him. So that's number one. Number two, power also attract. And this is where I blame President Uhuru Kenyatta. If President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted Azimio to control the Senate and the National Assembly in terms of the Speaker, he ought to have convened this meeting before the Supreme Court ruling, because he had that power. And by convening it at that time, it would have meant that members of parliament were going to go into the election with uncertainty. They were not going to be sure whether Ruto is going to be declared, whether Raila. So majority of them were going to vote based on how they voted in the last general election. So that the independent one would like, okay, let's go this way. Those who, for KANU, for example, would have voted that other side. But now, because Ruto is the president, the fact that he's already the president means majority of members of parliament would want to be on his side. Because what favor would you get from a former president who is not in terms with the president? What benefit, apart from political, because would you get from Raila Odinga and not from the deputy president? So majority of members of parliament will now be attracted to Ruto. And because of that, they would want to please him on the first day in parliament. So majority of these people will even be voting publicly to show Ruto that indeed they are with him. Number three, in my view, is that politics is about personal interest first. The rest inafuata. Now you go to Rift Valley, you find members of parliament who are elected on KANU. William Ruto is now already declared the president of the Republic of Kenya. Do you think these members of parliament can stage a fight with Ruto when already Gideon Moi is down? They can't. So majority of independent members of parliament, there are some members of parliament elected on other political parties who now want to pursue their personal interest away from Raila, away from Uhuru. The only place they will be headed to, in my view, is William Ruto. And this is the time for them to show that they are with Ruto. So because of those personal interests, majority of members of parliament, in my view, are definitely going to side with William Samoei Arap Ruto. And number four, I also tend to think that post-2022 politics is also going to shape the voting pattern. You look at the National Assembly where Marende and Weta are. You know, Ruto is going to defend his seat in 2027. Kalonzo is going to run, definitely. And for me, I'm going to support him in 2027. There is also Moses Wetangula who has ambitions. You can't also rule out the possibility of Babu Owino emerging, the possibility of having Musalia Mudavadi emerging. So if you look at post-2022 politics, I don't think Ruto will allow Azimio to control parliament. Why? Have a speaker who controls parliament. Why? Because there are certain legislations you would want to pass through parliament. There are several other things you would want to see through in parliament. Those can only happen if you have a friendly speaker. That is the truth. And that's the biggest challenge for Raila Odinga, the biggest challenge for President Uhuru Kenyatta. And lastly, Ruto is also determined to take control of parliament. If there is one thing William Ruto is going to spend his last coin on, is the control of parliament. William Ruto understands so many things. One of them, he made a lot of promises to Kenyans. And one of the promises he made to Kenyans is the Hustlers Funds will require parliament to pass. There are so many things he would want. Like I saw him the other day talk about CDF, which the Supreme Court of Kenya said is no longer under the MPs. He told them it will be under MPs. So for him to evade justice, he will have to go around it. Going around it would mean having members of parliament who are friendly, who can then go to parliament and then suggest such changes. That can only be possible if you have a speaker. In fact, President Uhuru Kenyatta had a bit of problem because the speaker he had, Justin Muturi, had lost hope in him. Had lost hopes in him. So for me, I tend to think that Ruto is going to have another field day today. He's going to defeat these guys. Kalonzo Musyoka has seen it. And the fact that he's decided to withdraw from the race means that he feared losing. Because again, I don't blame Ruto. I blame Raila and I blame Uhuru. These guys had chance. They had the best chance of controlling parliament. They had the best chance of winning the presidency. Up to this stage, for me, I still don't understand why Raila Odinga allowed William Ruto to be declared the president. Why he even allowed Wafula Chebukati, despite all the signals, to oversee the elections. I still don't understand how Raila Odinga and the team allowed Form 34B, Book 2 of 2, to reach the polling stations. I'm still unable to understand so many things. So I don't think that with the determination of William Ruto, they'll be able to change anything. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye for now. Until next time.